we have a couple of talk in and around the Indus Valley inscriptions. So there are dedicated talk on scripts, statistics, and as well as the even in concordance. So since I'll talk. I have a two piece of talk. So the first I'll talk about the brief introduction of Indus Valley inscriptions. Actually, a brief introduction of the civilizations, and the next half part I'll try to introduce some current computational tool, which is web scraping, which is very essential tool for computational epigraphy as per se. So since we all are epigraphists, so some are related. So one funny example I came in my mind. So possibly all of you know this, right? Anybody who don't know this? Everybody is right, for sure. So the point is, if I'll ask anyone, so everyone can read this, right? Yeah. Can you tell me why? You can read. Even if I'll instead of writing, removing Farhan and Raju, if I'll ask you write your name or my name, even you will read it easily. Though in movie it's been exaggerated a little bit, but still we can write it or we can read it easily. Why? Yeah, we know the people who are because we know who is Farhan, who is Raju, and we know the context. So the point is, for epigraphic, any kind of epigraphic things, the context is very important. So, which is here Raju or Farhan is not that important, but to read it here, the context, based on the context is very important. Domain is what is saying. So, sometimes we need the domain because we are, most of you, I figure out that different background. Even if you talk about my background, I'm from bioinformatics, where some of you know that bioinformatics is mainly dealing with the DNA sequence, RNA sequences, where people are looking different motifs. The motif has a different meaning, but fine. The longer sequence, find the motif. But when I came here, I applied almost same technique into this particular domain. But so, but how to interpret? To interpret is we need domain, some contextual information. So since we have a lot of dedicated talks on statistical concordance and everything, so we thought, let's just give a brief introduction of our Indus Valley civilizations. Maybe most of you all are aware of all these things. It will be useful for who are completely new on this field, who are interested to work on this. Maybe it will be useful for them. So whenever we think about Indus Valley inscriptions or Indus Valley civilization, possibly these are some figure pop-ups in our mind, right? So by looking these figures, what can we infer? What can we understand about the context, civilizations, or their whatever activity we can assume? Because everything is just inference. You may agree, you may not, but we can get only from these remains, right? So these remains. So can we get something? Can we try to understand by these remains? So what I have tried to outlook my talk is that can we ask few questions? What was their living pattern, like urban planning? What was the social structure? Whether they've had some kind of some religious belief or so-called architecture, just based on the archaeological remains. So let's come into that. So when we are talking about the Indus civilization, so in Indus civilization, mainly the time span goes very long. Yes, we know that this is completely a Bronze Age civilization, but few of the sites also trace back into the Neolithic period. So Mehergar is one of the common name, but fine. But most of the civilization time frame we talked about is 3000 BC to 13,000. So okay, with this mature period. So most of the things what we have these days remains. We will talk about all this for this period. Say this mature Harappan phase. So we know that, and this one, this civilization was quite the contemporary of well-known civilization that's called Mesopotamia, ancient Egypt, and China, all these things. And so it was, geographically, it was up to the Pakistan, southern Pakistan and northern west of India. So that region, you can say that this whole region was the geographical span. So the first time the people has noticed, the first time recorded noticed done by this Charles Mason, who mentioned in his one of the series of books, while this called narrative of various journeys in Balochistan, Afghanistan and Punjab. But that time he was not knowing that that is that has any significance with Indus Valley civilizations. Later we found that okay, the place he was talking about, this was the position. This was the first time somebody has mentioned about the civilizations. Later, I think archaeological interest, the formal, you can say that the Alexander Cunningham, who was also the first Director General of India, ASI. So he did surveys. So at that part, and he also found one seal, and he got some different theory, but later, but fine. So even that, up to that time, it was not the significance of that civilization was not yet recognized. So he was the second person, and in between long silence, people visited the site and went. Nobody has found the significance. There was, I think, one more seal been found by Fleet in 1912 somewhere. So, and then then the interest been come up, and finally then the John Marshall in 1920, so formally the whole excavation is started. But all these things happened during the East India Company trying to establish. They put the railway track on that area, Lahore, Karachi railway track. So fine, that is the different story. But fine. So in the first formal excavation done during started in 1920, and the first excavation is done by Dayaram Sahani in 1921, and then next is Rahul Das Banerjee, who did the excavation of Mohenjo-daro, and then finally 1924 the Marshall, who published whole report into London News of illustrated London News, and then the world came to know about the whole civilization. So in that point of view, you can say that okay, we this year we have completed the 100-year of whole and formal announcement. So you can say that we are celebrating the centenary. So yeah, so once these excavation done, then people got lot of interest, and people gave even ASI started taking the interest, and then lot of further excavation has done. You can know that 1952 Lothal is done by S.R. Rao, Joshi, who did Dholavira, and Majumdar, Chanjudaro 1931. So these and R.S. Wist, Baby Lal, so and then so on. So the point is, so all these excavation was really groundbreaking. Because one of the main reasons, one is that it was contemporary of those well-known civilization at that time, but still it has their own it's called independent features. So what are those features? Especially it's known for the urban planning and architecture. So we will try to look one by one based on what people have found, and then let's try to look at that part one by one. So let's say how can we see the urban planning of that civilization? So if you see the site and the map, the aerial view, especially different Mohenjo-daro, Harappa, it is quite fascinating at that time. See, it's completely in right angle triangle form. Its whole the area is divided into north-south area, the north to south, the eastern, western blocks, which is called upper town, lower town, and those kind of things. But see the straight line, the grid patterns. So it was fascinating. So, and it is not only one site. Most of the sites having this kind of a structure. So you can think that, okay, maybe they had kind of highly organized way of thinking of this whole infrastructure thing. The drainage system. Drainage system is one of the well-known of that time. So if you'll see this, the drainage system, especially in the covered one, the covered and all the houses were covered by the different drains, and even either public-private houses or public places. And top of that, it was covered. So that indicates that they had some kind of priority on cleanness and high public health, you can say that. So that we can understand at least in that point of view. And every houses had kind of well, and the big reservoir, this Dholavira and those kind of things. So that indicates that how good their water management system was. So, and the other side, the bricks. So because most of the buildings are fired bricks, and the bricks are quite standardized in size. I think size is 1:2:4. I think still we using the same ratio possibly. So, and these are this kind of ratio in all over this across the civilization, across the sites, and in all kind of structure, whether it's a building, whether it's a public private building, public building, or drainage, grade bath, wherever it is. So it means that it shows that some kind of centralized system they might have. Yeah. So and the dockyard, the Lothal things, though it's okay, there is some challenge. The claim has happened that okay, maybe it's not, but there is most of the people agree that okay, these are the possibly this was the dockyard, but even if you think no, yes or no, you may agree, may not, but fine. They had that kind of big structure. They had they had ability to build that big grand structure. So, and the public community structures like granaries, baths, grid baths. So every houses was like this. So north to south there is a big lane. There's a upper town. Upper town in central part is the citadel, and the in the middle part is the what's called public bath, granary, and then lower town. So these all things reflect that okay, what we can understand. If it is if you have in your city, if you have a big granary, it means that at least you had some kind of distribution system. You might have storing your produce. You were distributing, or some kind of a centralized distribution system might have. But you can interpret in any way. So it is like that. That the city had a sustainable structure. Again, in terms of urban planning, you can think that okay, your city has some sustainable structure. So even we have found that kill pots, so the fire big fired bricks things, so that it shows that they might have aware that to how to build the system durable structure. Because if you are using even the people have found that sun-baked bricks, but most of the bricks are fired bricks. So it means that they are aware. They were aware about the durable structure, and not only that, we have found that okay, the multi-story buildings means that what can we interpret? We can interpret that okay, possibly they were aware of the use of vertical heights, vertical space. So that's how that grand the whole civilization was. The defensive structure not common. Only I think this is the only Dholavira has fortified walls and this grand gates. I think this is the famous gate where the one signboard has been found. So the point is, at least by looking the fortified wall, so we can understand they might have aware about the defense, some kind of defensive system or security. But yeah, this is not the common. This is the only one structure has been found. So that was the urban things. Let's talk about the how can we interpret, what can we interpret about the economic systems. So as we already I talked that okay, we have found this the granary, and in those places we have found the grain trace like wheat, barley, the rice. So it means that that they were producing all these things. Primarily, we can understand that primarily they were maybe agricultural based. Even there are recent studies saying that they had all seed spice and those kind of these are I think 2021 somebody has published this paper, but fine. So the trade system, we know that okay, the trade is very because of the already we in our the neighborhood there were civilizations. There are close connection with them. The lot of seals has been found. Say these beds as found in the Mesopotamia. These things in Susha. So there are a lot of object has been found in different places, and others the lapis lazuli, which is not found in Indus sites, which is not the origin of origin is not was not the Indus. So it means that it was a mutual bidirectional some kind of transaction was going on. So we can understand that possibly there was some kind of trade systems there might have. And for sure we can understand that. Please. So and to understand the further economic activity, the craft is well known. We know that again, I mean, Indus people were excelled in the quality of the artifacts what we have found during the excavation is quite amazing. It means that this kind of quality and even the quantity looks like that okay, their people were specialized in that. So if you are specialized, obviously you might have some kind of economic activity. Though some people are only involving into this kind of work, some people are working other kind of works. So construction. Suppose as I told that they had grand city plan, grand infrastructure. So if you have in your city in grand infrastructure, obviously there will be some kind of some people are dedicated to the construction part. So you can understand that these kind of the possible economic activity might be happening during the period. So another thing we can understand that animal husbandry. So the animal figurine, what you can see in different seals, tablet, and as well as the archaeological remains, that is showing that these animals might have part of their life. So possibly these kind of things they were using these animals as part of animal husbandry. So yes, we can understand. So possibly these are where the part of the economic activities. So whether they produce using for agriculture purpose, whether meat or possible dairy products, we can think on different way. So the social aspect of the civilization we can infer by, again, from the same. The point is, what I'm trying to understand, every aspect just by the finding the remains can be it's kind of this seeing the same thing in different aspects. So sometimes you may agree, may not. That is different, possibly, but we can come up with some common inference, right? So especially if you'll see the quality of goods in burials, if you say this, different burials was found in the different type of products, artifacts. Sorry, so artifacts. It and also the what I told you, that in the city there were some kind of upper town, lower town. So these kind of things, at least showing that some kind of social stratification was there, right? So even different the quality of the jewelry, quality of different metals, it needs kind of specialized people who can produce all these things. If you think that, okay, there were people, there are people involved into that, it means that there was some special profession, right? Somebody was just doing agriculture, somebody was involved in something else, somebody was involved in some different people were involved, different group were involved in different professions. So we can understand that in that way, that okay, there were some kind of social stratification. So even there was toys and those kind of things. Yeah. So the religious belief and things. The religious the one thing is, this is anyway a controversial part. So see, there is no clear evidence for any religious practices has been okay. There is no evidence on that, but yet some rituals was there on part of their life, especially okay, if you'll take down the Pashupati seals, they is interpreted by some of the archaeologists as the early form of deity Shiva. So so that is one of the claim. So and the burials, if you'll see the burials, it indicates some kind of that they might have some what's called the faith, belief on the afterlife. That is the reason possibly one could bury artifacts belonging to them or something. It's like that. The script and communication, how so we know that, okay, maybe we'll talk in lot details say things is, but what we during the archaeologists have found that lot of seals, potteries and tablets found and objects with something written on it. What is written? Maybe that we'll discuss. So with over more than 500, 600 different signs. Okay, number of signs can vary on how we will talk on. So the point is, with different symbols. Okay, despite extensive studies and lot of effort, we are still not it's still undeciphered. And maybe just because what Professor Siddhara was saying, that okay, the Rosetta Stone is missing. Even I do remember that, okay, very recently Professor Kenoyer had visited here IIT Madras a few months back. So I asked him that, what is your opinion about the decipherment efforts? So he gave a well clear answer. Till Rosetta Stone, no hope. So yeah, but we can say that, okay, it's an opinion, right? As Professor Sadabra was showing you that, okay, linear B example, so which is not which is done based on the computational effort, right? So yeah, so as we know that the web, what he already shown that, okay, what is the importance of a Rosetta Stone? Yes, there is, and that can give you the clue, no doubt. But it doesn't mean that, okay, if you don't have Rosetta Stone, you should stop your effort. Especially computational methods has good hope on it. And we will talk, and Nisha is there. So I mean, we all talk on this and what we can do so far. So yeah, see the the geographical span of the script that we have seen that, okay, these scripts were been found on most of the sites. It means that, so these, if it's not only located in one places, so it suggests that they might have some kind, they might be using this kind of tokens with some kind of administrative purpose or some kind of across the region to communicate whatever the communication method was, but it was being communicated with the whole system. So and not only across region, but on with different variety of objects in different mediums. So there, if you'll see the nature of the inscription been found, it is found on the terracotta seals, even in metal seals, potteries, tablets, and different types of objects. If it is if it has been found in different types of object, what you can infer? It means that it was involved in every section of their life, right, somewhere. Till we deciphered, yeah, we can do all those things, but at least we can say that, we can understand that, okay, it was across the sites, across the civilization. It was every part kind of objects they were using. So it was it's kind of an integral part of their day, what's called their life. What is that is no question mark, but yeah, it was integral part. We can at least infer that. So so the point is, yeah, there is one the already Professor has told that, okay, the point is, if you will, once you will start working on this, you will realize the length of the text is very small. The length of what we use, the maximum length is I think 14. So the maximum length is 14 graphings. On an average, if you'll just see, most of the sales are is 4 or 5 something, not more than that. So this is the whole problem. You can say that, okay, this is the reason people start believing in the non-linguistic theories. This is the main reason, I think. Whether you agree, not agree, that is different matter. But yeah, seals are very small, and even top of that, you don't have much data itself. Okay, so it's very hard. It's no doubt it's a hard problem to solve. You can't see. We do know that, okay, there are lots of sophisticated machine learning techniques these days. But for machine learning, as in morning, Professor Farhat Habib said that, okay, in his one of the talk, he was saying that the certain percentage you need to training, certain was a testing. For testing, training things, you need enough data, and you don't have here. So since you don't have, that's why maybe importance of your importance is increasing. Machine can't do that easily because you don't have enough sample. So maybe domain expert, the role of domain experts come here. Maybe you can get into it, and then you can inform by using simple basic statistics. We will tell you what we have done so far. So yeah, so these are the main reason that the sort script is the main reason why non-linguistic theory came up. The people start thinking, okay, maybe it's just kind of transaction things and maybe rituals and religious purpose. But is it the only script which is short? You already seen these slides in morning by Brian, right? So no, answer is no. We know that this is the Uruk thing says it's even small, the same size. The proto-Elamite, these are it's already deciphered things, these things. So it simply means that the brevity, the shortness of the sequence doesn't imply that it's not a linguistic sequence. Whether it is not, reverse is not true, but that is for sure. You can say just because something's short, you cannot nullify that this is not a writing system. Because we know that these are the contemporary scripts. So yeah, so this is what we can think on it. So these all are by these things what you can understand. So it simply mean that what I'm trying to emphasize is there is potential of there is a high potential to work on it. So what you have to, how you are taking the problem, that is completely depends on you. You have to think on the whole overall perspectives and start on your own way. So there is simply what I'm trying to emphasize that, okay, there is enough room to work on it. It's not that, okay, not completely denied. So there are other seals. Already you have seen these slides. Yeah, there are enough example we have that there is a short inscription, but still it is known that it is not is a part of a script. But as I was saying that, okay, until it is deciphered, no writing system can be proved this is a writing system. Or same, absolutely. You cannot prove this is not a writing system. So we have to wait. Till now, there will be theory of writing system. There will be a theory of non-writing system. Still, there are already there are two schools of thoughts. So I think we have to start from somewhere here that, okay, be unbiased. So when we started in the same way. Okay, there were already theory that there is school of thought that this is a writing system. There are school of thoughts that there is not a writing system. From where we start, just take a neutral path. Start using simple computational methods and do it. Then maybe it will be easier. Taking any prior information may be problematic. Yeah. So as you already shown that, okay, this even before deciphering these things, people were supposing this was the decorative piece, maybe birds step, and this is not the only one. Even this same fate was with the Mayan things. Even Mayan was even more by looking at more decorative purpose. But yeah, so till now, this kind of speculation will go. So, and there are many hypotheses. There are many people have start thinking on different way that even from the beginning of the finding all these things, people start trying to correlate with that, okay, it has some kind of connection with Sumerian, Elamite. Maybe because maybe it is not surprising if it is, because we have seen the evidence of the trade relations. If you are having some kind of trade relation with your neighbor, obviously there will be some kind of influence, right? So maybe that's why you will see a few of the slides. So the signs, grapheme, it looks like same. So there is no surprise on it. So again, the answer could be only after decipherment. Till now, you can say yes, possibly. You can say with question mark. So yeah, as we are saying that, okay, even there are multiple hypotheses about the language. So there are different theories, right? One of the Dravidian theory is mainly proposed by Henry Herraz. So we're saying that, okay, possibly there are evidence of the fish sign, the cognates, the root words. There are multiple, different reasons, but there is a theory of that it has some connection with the Dravidians. Yeah. Another theory for the Indo-Aryan theories, that, okay, it has some connection with this. The Fair Service has given theory of the Munda theory, actually Paramunda things. So even Witzel was also in support of that, Paramunda. And later he switched into the non-linguistic theory, by the way. So, and language X, somebody was in the audience also saying that, okay, but there is a unknown connections. Yes. So the Collins Mashika is saying that, okay, there is a lot of, if you will see the root words of current Indo-Aryan languages, there are a few connections are being traced, few are completely unknown. So there might be a chance that, okay, some words has come from some unknown source, and that unknown source may be something. Yeah, so that's why the whole concept of the language X he has given. So yeah, so there are a lot of different theories. Okay, fine. So I'll try to quickly. I'll try to go. Okay. So yeah, there is non-linguistic theories. So as I already said that, but the whole thing, non-linguistic theory, you can counter that. The statistical properties. What if you start working on statistical properties? The recurrence, the syntax, what we are getting, that will force you to deny those non-linguistic theory. I'll show you all in my later talk that, okay, what kind of pattern we are getting as somebody, some other groups are getting. So the thing is, but overall, we do in our statistical analysis with a lot of techniques, but overall, what most of the studies suggest that the script may follow some kind of logical, similar to linguistic patterns. It's showing the patterns what the known linguistic system is. If you most of us, we are working on comparative study. Since we don't have evidence, we don't have long text, we don't have continuity. So what we do, we try to work on the known systems and trying to find the patterns and trying to match that. And we have seen that, okay, the behavior of the linguistic, the Indus script is very similar to what known system is showing. So these things are saying that, okay, but yeah, at the end, still not in decipher, nothing is done. So still we are very far from that. So as in computer, so in this whole workshop, we will try to work on what is possibly, what possible thing we can do we can get by computational method, and what we can't. So obviously there is some limitations. So the way what we do all these study is that, okay, this is called archaeological findings. So we are not working on image processing anything. What do we do? Simply given the numbers, to assign the numbers to each signs, that even that we haven't done. There are multiple scholars who have already done all these things. There is one dedicated talk on these things. So who had done all these concordance. So maybe Subbu as one, say Dr. Subramaniam will do all these things. So he will explain you. So for us, as an computational epigraphist, what we do, our concern is just this number. Just we are not using any information from here. We just focus on this part. So he will. Depend on the number of who had compiled all these concordance. The concordance size is vary. The binary size, the number of unique grapheme will vary. And the reason why this is varying. So maybe I'm just keeping for other talk. So yeah, so I'll just move on the other things. Okay, I'll just quickly just do that. Okay, so what we were actually we were working, looking for the what kind of inference we can get from the different based on the archaeological remains, what we can found that. So the point is, if we'll talk about the the art and culture, no doubt the art and culture was very in the high class. So the motif, especially this the objects, the portraits, and the quality and design was quite amazing. See the toys, and I'm just quickly going. Sorry, I have another talk to. So the toys and games reflect that they had some kind of skills on that front. The quality of no doubt, the quality of their jewelry is no doubt completely very fascinating. And then whether it's a gold, carnelian, different beads, the sophistication, saying that they were very specialized on this on this product. Even there's no direct evidence of the textile, but some study has found that the impression of this, or it's called impression of the some kind of textile. This is one the silk things. The remains of the silk has been found. So this is some impression of the electron microscopic photograph of some textile also. So these kind of things showing that, or even if you'll see that the famous priest, the photo which is showing that okay, there is a clothes, some kind of motif. So they might be aware of all these things, obviously. So and the weight and measures. Yes, this is well known that okay, these kind of the different standardized weight has been found across the civilization. It means that they had some kind of centralized mechanism for all these mathematical or it's called administrative capabilities. The motifs, yes, the motif, the repetitive patterns in different whether objects and the seals, different things, looks like that they were aware of the decorative items. The metallurgy, yes, we already seen that. I'll just skip this. So at the end, the point is, unfortunately, there is some kind of declination. We don't know what happened. It was so grand, everything, and then suddenly it was some gap. So that gap, paper scholar has defined as the declination of the things. So there are, for that, even that there are multiple theories. So somebody has, as I said, flood theory, earthquake, Aryan invasion, and there are multiple things maybe. And yeah, but at the end, every theory is just a speculation. None of them been accepted. So it's a flood theory is saying that okay, since different multiple slits has been, so one set of houses on top of another slits, kind of this. So these kind of evidence is showing that okay, maybe flood came and then whole destroyers happen. The earthquake theory is saying that okay, maybe the whole civilization was on top of the earthquake zone. The shifting theory is saying that okay, these whole slit, whatever they found in the silt, those are not because of flood, maybe because of air wind. So, and the heredity, there is evidence that okay, around second millennia, mid of the second millennia, there was some kind of heredity. So obviously the people might have affected by that way. And the Aryan invasion, yes, already is declined. Aryan invasion is this theory is saying that okay, there are some Rigvedic texts and some of the area and some it's called text which is called in Vedic text is called Harappa, which is similar to Harappa or this kind of things. But yeah, at the end, it is remains a matter of debate. So most of the things is not accepted. The most accepted theory is through that decline may be due to climate changes and shifting monsoons, maybe lead to the drought and agriculture productivity, and maybe that's why people start moving to the better places. So it's a gradual changes. You can see that. So at the end, we can conclude in this way that, okay, in this, so by just looking, if you'll see from the start to end, so it is showing some kind of advanced society it was for sure. Though it's the script is not deciphered, but it was that. So, but in the Persian digital time, computational methods gives us a lot of new tools, especially especially if I'll talk about the scrapping the web scrapping things, which gives you kind of because see as I said, that the problem with this is that the scarcity of the data. We have very small set of data. The only option to study is, as per my this is my thing. I think this is only way of study that a comparative study. When you saying comparative study, you need data of different variety of text, whether a different variety of writing, so whether it is a different variety of writing system, different variety of languages. So for that, you can't do all things manually. If you'll use these kind of techniques, maybe it's very useful. So I'll just give you a hands-on session on that. So it's just we can stop here and just take a 5-minute break. So I'll just make the setup. And meanwhile, you can also open your computer so that we can work together. That will be easier. So thank you.